So welcome everyone. My name is Paul with Business Club, and I'm here today with Dr. Stacey. So Dr. Stacey Cooper is a holistic health and wellness authority, inspirational speaker, and educator. She's the founder of Lifestyle Balance Solutions, international best-selling author of What Self-Love's Got to Do with It, creator of the Healthy Eating Blueprint and the Balanced Living Academy, and the author of Healthy Fuel Cookbook. Dr. Stacey's practice was founded in 1912 by her great grandfather, as she's a fourth generation practitioner with clinical experience which spans over 23 years. Her newest book, Heal Your Healthy Naturally, will launch on May 11th on Toronto. And well, I guess it did launch on May 11th in Toronto with Jack Canfield, Chicken Soup for the Soul fame, and has also been endorsed by Bob Proctor. And you can check out her new program on 10 Down 10 Day .com. So welcome, Stacey. We last time I saw you, we were writing a book together, and it's so great to catch up with you, see what you've been up to. Now, specifically, want to ask you, over this past year, people were really struggling with mental illness, it's the social isolation, even business owners too, right? I mean, economic shutdown, their business was dramatically affected. So what health strategies can you share with us today to help us cope with these types of things?
Well, first of all, thank you so much, Paul, for inviting me to be here and share information with your audience. And yes, humans, we are social beings. We need to be together in community. It's a vital component to health and wellness. Solitary confinement is a corporal punishment for that reason, because we need to be together in community. And that is one of the biggest challenges that I've seen through the course of this past year, is in regards to people being basically locked away, locked up, and almost like the key's been thrown away. And it is so detrimental to the mental health, to the well-being, to the spiritual being of people, that that in itself is a crime. And so some things that people can do to begin to step out, as we're finally, thankfully, in Ontario, we're coming out of lockdown, and it's been way too long. So even just getting outside, and I was just talking with a patient this morning, and her parents have moved into a condo, and they have a porch, and there's a sidewalk right out in front. So spending time outside, and even just talking with the people who are passing by on the streets, to step out of fear, to step into just saying hello, sharing time, sharing space, conversing again. That I fear is going to become a lost art, because nobody's been talking to anybody. And it really helps to nourish the soul when you feel community and connection. And your whole being is energy. Your whole body vibrates. You are made up of energy, and your heart energy expands around you, outside of your physical being. It's your aura, and people can feel that energy. As you know, and you may have experienced, you may have been in a place, in a room, where, whether it be the bank or the grocery store, whatever, but that particular person who happens to walk in the door, and it's that negative Nelly, you already know that they're having a bad day. You can feel that energy. Well, we're all energetic beings. So just as you can feel that negative energy, you too can also feel the positive energy of other people. And that's why it's so important for us to be connected, to be in community, to be able to share energy with each other and to support each other. So you had asked, what are some things that people can do to help with that loneliness, that isolation? So, the first thing is get outside. And even if you're not necessarily with people, just getting outside and closing your eyes for 3 to 5 minutes and just listening to the sounds around you, listening to nature, listening to life, the birds sing. Take your shoes off, put your feet in the grass, feel the earth and ground with nature. That too changes the energy within your body, within your soul. And just use all of your senses to experience it. Close your eyes, feel the wind on your cheeks, feel the temperature, feel the sun, the warmth, hear the birds singing, the noises around you, life around you. Feel the grass between your toes, all of that kind of stuff, to alert your nervous system, and to get things firing and functioning and alive again, instead of just sitting inside watching stuff that's being blasted 24/7, and it is not lifting your energy at all.
Excellent. Well, thanks for sharing that, Dr. Stacey. Now, I know your specialization is really on the health matters, and I'm thinking about even myself. I started a health regime this year, starting to do a 5K run. It took me a while to get up to that, and also doing the keto diet, trying to lose. I think I've lost probably around 15 pounds so far. It seems to be working. But what do you think? Like people who are trying to lose a little weight, maybe get that beach body happening, want to feel better, more energized, and it's springtime, the weather's, or summertime, the weather's getting nice. What do you think is the best thing to do for our own physical health?
There are so many things. The best thing is to start where you're starting from. So just like you said, you started running 5K, but you didn't start with 5K on day one. You have to work up to it. So the first advice is be kind to yourself. Don't think that you're going to step out the door and run 5K. You need to take time to build up your endurance, build up your stamina, and show love to your body. You're actually getting out, being active, moving your body, and appreciate the service that your body is providing to you by functioning and moving. So that's one of the first things. Um, as I said, there are so many things. So hydration is really important. If you want to help boost your metabolism, every single cell needs water. And if you're dehydrated or not fueling your body well, then your body can't function optimally. So that's one of the key components. And also, oftentimes, either it be out of boredom, you may eat more, or your brain gets tricked sometimes, and you may think that you're hungry when in essence, truly, you're only thirsty. And so I highly recommend that you have a big glass of water first and then wait 15 or 20 minutes. And then if you're still truly hungry, then have a healthy snack. Don't reach for the junk because that's not going to do you any good. So that's another tip that you can use. But get moving. Absolutely get moving. Our bodies were made to move. We were much better off when we were Little House on the Prairie, tending to the fields, looking after the livestock, building outbuildings, and all of the tasks that needed to be done. You were using different muscles at different times throughout the entire day. What we're doing now, and even worse now, locked at home on the Zoom, sitting all the time, not being active, none of that is helpful for your mental well-being, your physical well-being, your emotional well-being, your spiritual well-being, none of it. And so get moving. So whether you take 10 or 15 minutes in the morning and awaken with the day. This is one of the most beautiful things, and my most favorite part of the day is I'm up early, I'm outside, I will have drank water first, and then take the dogs outside and just see the sunrise and hear the world awaken and welcome the day. And I just take time in gratitude and appreciation of the little things. And if this is a practice that you're not used to doing, practicing gratitude, then it may take a little bit to think, oh, what is there to be grateful for? We're stuck in the stupid place right now. All these you could get into that negativity, or you can think of, well, I do have a roof over my head. I did have a pillow under my head. Start with the little things. And as you start to focus on things that you're grateful for, more things will start to show up and it will become easier and easier. Everything is a practice in life. And so as you practice gratitudes and awaken your day like that, you will notice a shift in your energy because you're grounding with earth. You're putting love in your heart and gratitude amongst you. And that changes your perspective. And then that changes how you're going to relate to other people because your energy has now shifted. So as we go back to that negative Nelly who walked in the room, now people will notice your new energy because it will have changed. So the interactions that you have had with people in your household or acquaintances or whoever you happen to be seeing, if there's people in your physical home, they may then start to interact with you differently because you did a shift in energy first. So there's been a lot of really unfortunate, terrible things that have happened within households because their saving grace was going out to work every day and having that break, right? So having time to be outside, to communicate with others, to spend time with others, to seek refuge and tranquility. So, this time right now with the fabulous weather that we're experiencing, absolutely get outside and go for walks, see people on the street, get out and about, go to the park, toss a baseball around or a football, anything to, lift your spirits, be together in community, and interact with other beings.
Okay, excellent. Now I noticed that I imagine most of your clients are female, and that you specialize a lot with females. Are there any unique health issues that women faced for dealing with, whether it be mental health or physical health?
I know one thing in general in regards to women. Certainly, I work with all clients, men, women. I have many men in my community as well. And especially as entrepreneurs, one of the biggest challenges that new business owners, entrepreneurs deal with is not putting themselves on their priority list, not practicing self care. Because as an entrepreneur, everything falls on your shoulders. You're the head of everything. You're the chief cook and bottle washer. You have to take care of everything, or so you think, right? And sometimes as people are starting out, that's the position that they find themselves in. Although that doesn't have to necessarily be true, but that's often the position they find themselves in. And when you are running nose to the grindstone, from the time that you roll out of bed to the time you collapse into bed each night and getting minimal sleep, not eating well because your nose is to the grindstone, then your body can only do the best that it can with what you give it. But if you're not providing great sleep for restoration, if you're not providing great foods for fueling your body, if you're not hydrating your body well, if you're not exercising to keep your body physically strong and your stamina up, then your body will shut down. And that's where disease and dysfunction shows up. So, in order to help to avoid that, self care is essential. Self care should be at the top of your priority list. And especially as caregivers, as women, generally, they typically look after everyone else first. And, oh, I'll get to that yoga class. Oh, I intend to get to that yoga class tonight. But tonight falls before the yoga class ever shows up. They're exhausted and they fall into bed, and still they didn't get to do the thing that they wanted to because the list was too long for the day. And that sometimes there's stuff left over on the list that never even got accomplished. And when the list moves to the next day, it doesn't stay the way that it was, it gets reprioritized. And then those self care things, they get shifted to the bottom again, of course. So the key message is self care is of vital importance, because if you don't look after you, no one else is going to do it for you. And when you practice self care, then you are re energizing your batteries, you're re nourishing your soul, you are filling up your cup. And that is going to help you to show up as your best version of you because you re energized first. And so by not doing that, you're only doing a disservice because you're living a life of fatigue, frustration, exhaustion, and just mental distress. So putting self-care at the top of the priority list and to put it in ink. So it's non-negotiable. It can't be erased. It can't be taken off the schedule. It is in ink and it's the top priority. That was the biggest step that I needed to do in order to change my life and begin to heal my health as well, was making self-care my top priority.
Yeah, it sort of reminds me of the when you're in the plane, right? You want to put on your oxygen mask before you put on your children. And as women too, typically you're doing everything on the house, so you're looking after the kids, the cleaning, the cooking, and of course, times are changing, but just sort of still, I think there are some traditional roles that women are doing a lot more work in. I did want to ask you. I mean, I was amazed that you're in a fourth generation business. I mean, it's hard enough to have your business survive to the second generation. Rarely do you see it the third generation, but you've actually managed four generations. So how is that possible? Like how what have you can what lessons have you learned from your family business that we can learn on creating a legacy business that's going to survive through multiple generations?
Well, the first thing is that I was never forced into chiropractic. It wasn't held over my head like this has to be it. And so my great grandfather started the practice in 1912, and chiropractic inception was in 1895. So we are truly pioneers of the chiropractic profession. And there's been a lot of teachings and trainings passed down through the generations within the family. So I'm very proud and blessed to have that. And you're right. There aren't many businesses, let alone, family run businesses like a local hardware store or shops like that, mom and pop shops. But especially for a profession, it's very unusual to have 4 generations of a professional practice. So that really is something unique and that I hold dear to my heart. But, basically it's just following your true calling and whatever enables you to tick, to, follow your passion so that it doesn't feel like work, because it's not work for me. Now I've been in practice for 25 years now already, and I don't know how the time went that fast. I know my kids have grown up. They're now 18, 20, 22, and 24, but I certainly don't feel like that much time has passed in practice because I truly love it. And, each day is just serving and giving to my patients. And yeah, it truly is a blessing to be there.
Well, and your business must be such an integral part of your community too, and you've been around there for 4 generations. It's you are like a part of the community, so that's fantastic. I was wanted to ask you about your program, 10 Down 10 Day. .com. I was wondering if you could tell us a little bit about it. And of course, you recently published a best-selling book, so I was wondering if you could tell us a little bit more about your program.
Sure. So this is a free guide. It's 10down10days.com. So 10down 10days.com. And this is 10 simple steps that you can implement just 10 minutes at a time to begin to heal your health naturally. So it's a booklet that you can print off, and it's full color, and you can either keep it as a PDF. So you can just go to that link, 10down10days.com, put in your name and email address, and you can get immediate access to the guide. There is a small $7 mini course on the next page if you want the videos that are the companion to the guide. But one thing that I really love about the guide that I designed is on the back page, I put all 10 steps on one page that you can print off and put in a prominent place, like on the fridge or on the bathroom mirror, as a reminder of, oh yeah, I need to do that particular thing yet today. I haven't done it yet. And so it's just 10 things that you can do just 10 minutes at a time, because I know life is busy. I know that there isn't time, or that you may feel that way. But this is a really easy way to start to get your self-care priorities on the top of your list, because you can find 10 minutes in between whatever. And as you start to implement those 10 simple steps, you will see tremendous change in your life. And it's not just about the foods that you eat, it's about nourishing your mind, your body, and your spirit. Because you can eat well 100% of the time, but if other areas of your life are stressed, your body still won't function well. So by implementing those 10 simple steps, you will definitely see change happen in your body, your mind, and your spirit. And that's the point. And that's why I wrote the book, Heal Your Health, Nourishing Your Mind, Body, and Spirit Naturally. And this is endorsed by Jack Canfield from Chicken Soup for the Soul and Bob Proctor from the movie The Secret. So I'm so blessed to have greats like them supporting the work that I'm doing, as my mission is to eliminate the diabetic epidemic globally. And that's my true passion, is to help people heal their health and truly live a life that they desire.
Wow,
And then
that's
I have my
fantastic.
cookbook.
And
Yeah.
so how can we get this book and this you even have your cookbook? So how can listeners what's the best way for them to purchase your book or your program?
Sure. So the 10down10days.com, that's a free guide. So you can just go to that link, download the guide, and then you'll receive an email. There'll be contact information there. I'll invite you to my Facebook community as well, and that's all free. But then you'll have my email address and you can always connect. The best way in regards to purchasing the books is to connect with me directly. I'm all over social media, Dr. Stacey Cooper. So Facebook, YouTube, LinkedIn, Twitter, Instagram, Pinterest, and soon to be TikTok as well. So it's all there. And I host an interactive web class. And that is a free web class where I do some teaching, some instruction, but also answer questions live on the line. So you can go to 90daynewYou.com and you can jump into the web class and learn some more about how to heal your health naturally, get free information, connect with me, and have your questions answered too. So that's 90daynewYou.com, 90daynewYou.com.
Okay, excellent. I know, Stacey, you practice what you preach as well, and you're actually quite a runner, right? You I think, is it marathons or half marathons that I remember seeing that you're quite active yourself.
Yeah, so a dear friend of mine, Jim Hetherington, we've been in a number of programs together. He lives just in Cambridge, not too far from where I live, and so it was a year ago, November already. So he came to me in October and said, "Hey, I'm thinking I'm going to be turning 60 next year, and I want to run a marathon. I've decided that's what I want to do. Do you want to run with me?" And I went, "Okay." And that is a point of success. And Bob Proctor teaches this in Think and Grow Rich with Napoleon Hill. Decision is is the key to avoiding procrastination. When you take time or have to analyze and decide, then you're not committed to the process that you're on. When he asked me, I immediately said yes. There were times when I questioned myself as to what the heck did I get myself into, but it's making decision in whatever it is that you choose in life for the success that you desire. Make the decision. So anyway, that was just an off tangent because I'm studying with Bob right now as well. So Jim and I started running, and as we did, we started with 1 kilometer, and we weren't even running the whole kilometer. And I ran in high school, I ran long distance, I ran cross country, and I did all that. I played soccer all throughout university, but it's been a while. So you have to start with where your body's starting from. And that's where we started. Then we set goals. So we said by April, we're going to run the Boston Brantford Classic. We're going to do the 10K run. Then in July, we'll do a half marathon. And in November 1st, we'll do the full marathon. So we had a plan. Well, around comes April 19th, and the run was canceled, of course, because that was the beginning of the pandemic. However, not only were we already at 10 kilometers, but we ran 15 kilometers by that date because we were ahead of our training schedule. So then we moved up the half marathon to the weekend of Jim's 60th birthday. And we ran 22 and a half kilometers. And then in November, we ran our 42. So after that, it was like, what are we going to do? Well, why on earth, after a year of training, would you think about stopping? After you've built up all that stamina, all that endurance, why would you just quit? So we didn't. So we're still running. And so invite people, as you start to move your body, do something that you like to do. Because if you decide, oh, I'm going to start running, but you hate running, and you decide that you're going to do it Tuesday at 4 o'clock, but that's when a meeting is already scheduled, then you're certainly not going to do it. So when you begin to implement some of these strategies in the 10 down guide, if you're going to start to move your body, no, not if, when you're going to start to move your body, pick a time that's doable so that your schedule's already open and you commit to doing it. Secondly, pick something that you enjoy to do. Because if you don't like doing it, you're certainly not going to do it at all. And that will be your first hurdle and your barrier. Third, an accountability partner is crucial. Have someone do it with you. If you can, that's even better. But at least if you have an accountability partner, whether the two of you are doing it separately but at the same time, or you can have a phone call while you're both going on that 10 or 15-minute walk so that you're both walking together, you're both in connection and you're holding each other accountable. Why? Because you will give up on yourself so much faster than you would give up on somebody else. When you've made a commitment to somebody else, you've booked a date and time, and you've told them that you're going to do it, you will more than likely show up and do it. And that's why accountability partners are so critical to success, and mentoring. They go hand in hand.
Excellent. So we know if we want to run a marathon, we can talk to you about planning that out as well. So that's fantastic. And I'm just making up to 10K myself. So gradually getting there. But it's, as you said, exactly. You just have to make the decision to do it. And once you make the decision, and then it's just one step at a time, right? I mean, the first time, even the first few weeks I was out running, I was getting cramps, stomach cramps, and I was only going like halfway to where I wanted. And then, but after like 2 or 3 weeks, I started to be able to run 3K, and then eventually got to the 5. So it's like one step at a time. You just have to have that overall goal and take one step at a time. So this has been fantastic. Thanks so much, Dr. Stacey, for sharing your wisdom. And you're going to be speaking at Adapt and Overcome 2021 on Saturday, June 19th, under the Body Health and Wellness section, which is actually the start of the event at 9 o'clock. So make sure you come check that out. So again, Dr. Stacey, it's been fantastic to have you. Make sure you check out Dr. Stacey's book and your free guide, as well as even your health book. So we'll definitely have to follow up and get that from you. Excellent. So
Awesome.
again, it's been a pleasure, Dr. Stacey, and we'll look forward to seeing you at very soon at Adapt and Overcome. And thanks for sharing your wisdom today.
Thanks so much, Paul. I appreciate it. Have a great day.